The first of 2 trips to the Brands Hatch circuit this season bring us to the longer layout, not usually home of these cars, but it provides a very different racing experience filled with lots of unique character. And you'll catch all of this week's SOF for week 3 of the championship. Usually raced on the Indy circuit, we'll be racing with a long back straight and back portion of the track today at Brands Hatch. 20 minutes as ever, expected about 13 laps by the count that I got from the last run I did of this on the last time slot. That back portion is difficult to race on with some blind corners that really throw you off your scent. I wasn't able to get any passes there done, but some of these drivers might be better at using the slipstream. And we do have a 3.4k SOF, so there'll be plenty of chances to take advantage. Howie Burrows here as ever, having a busy week this week, proving to these Skip Barber drivers that they can't escape me forever. You may take me away, but you may not take me away. But that's not what we're here for today. 14 drivers have hit the grid. Some names already, plenty of experience in this championship. Some that I haven't seen hit the grid yet. Worth shouting out series sponsor as ever, FILMBIL.NO, for any filming services related to any vehicles you can imagine in the Scandinavian area, including Norway. They like to shout out Norway. You can, whether you're filming a production or have a car you'd like to see filmed, featured, get in contact. He's slowing down just to make sure we can see the car even better, I think. But qualifying almost at an end, only a few drivers left to run. I don't have live championship standings for you here, but I'll let you know that after 2 races, George Streetley in the 1 car is sitting at the top. 85 points to Alexander Istad in second and Daniel Tufts in third, who's only had 2 challenging P5s. But it's been a chaotic first few weeks. It's really, really been a dramatic and chaotic first few weeks. I heard a drama from last week that you don't even want to see repeat. I'm going to keep the names out of it. We managed to keep the replay out of it. So I'm not going to relitigate that fire. But if you were there, you know exactly what I mean. Drivers getting their last qualifying laps in now. Only a few to go is Alex Frazier. Did David Whitehouse manage to break the car? I think he did manage to break the car. Unfortunately, David, for you to create a flag like that is going to demand us to take it. Marconi Entertainment have not bought broadcast for this. That's me not having updated my ATVO settings correctly. He's not going to stand for that one. He's not going to stand for that one. They found the second gig, everybody. They found the second gig. I think a few drivers just running glory laps now to finish the job. Alex Frazier still yet to set a clean one. Looks like David Whitehouse is going to successfully finish in time. Only a minute to go now. I think Nick Aronson is just running laps for the fun of it at this point. Lottie certainly is. Just sit on board. Get a good feel for the part of the track that we don't always often get to see. Certainly is fast, and it's easy to make a stupid send around here as Alex Frazier just jumps Bellotti at the very end. Brands Hatch Indy will be coming later this season. Motorsport UK are obsessed with the double visits, but this is our single visit here. Last season it was wet, so we didn't, and I didn't really even get to cover it, but it wasn't quite the cleanest, easiest week. This season, it's a nice dry one on the grid, and with that, we have a full starting grid lined up. Not too many cars, only 14 today, and George Streetley starts pole. Next up, Christopher Cash in second. Teammate in arms, starting to see some of the same liveries come back and back. Daniel Tufts sits in third, with Alex Frazier in fourth. So next to Andrea Bellotti in fifth, and Alex Istad in sixth. Erwin Poole sits in seventh, with Graham Rory Hunt in eighth. Nick Aronson near the back, next to Mannheim. Manine, where'd the H come from? And NATO Brown next to Dan Blake. 2 more on the rear, Christopher Keeble and David Whitehouse. I spotted the last time slot as well. I got my wheel taken off by one of the drivers on this sprint. I will choose to keep their name anonymous for now, but they have already been sufficiently shamed. All our drivers already hitting the grid, apart from David at the very back. A nice quick turnout from the driver, surprisingly this time. I hear the engines revving. Only 1 more to go at the rear, and we are going to have a quick... This race is going to go by quicker than you can imagine. 20 minutes time, 13 laps expected. 13 laps by the count I very much had. Let's try that again. We're green. 2 teammate cars in the front row. George Streetley on the very front, and he gets a great launch off the start. Ready to go single file. Down Paddock Hill Bend. Few going down double, but everybody making it through nice and cleanly. Couple too wide there into Druids. But no outrageous moves and sands, going very wide at Graham Hill Bend, as is the line. No one pointed backwards. David Whitehouse losing out just a little bit. Christopher Keeble had that up for just a second. This race is going to fly on by quicker than you can imagine and quicker than you can name. I always struggle on this layout in these cars, and I do prefer driving the Indy, I'll be totally honest. I love that horrible McLaren bend that gets added to the end of it. It's just unlike anything else, whereas I've been caught out by every single little blind corner. Lots running wide. Alex Istad the first to do so. Off tracks can really haunt you around this track. There's a few portions you can go off. You can see sort of the lattice. That's Juha Manheim falling back. Manheim falling all the way to the back. Quite a slow exit at those few turns. Everybody's made it through without a significant incident. And our top 4 has kept the pack together. Still plenty of time for anyone to join that. Not going to be a draft train around here, but it's those who are at the front ready to make their move, and Cash has gone terribly wide there. He had a bit of a twitch on the inside of Paddock Hill. Lost out, thought he was going to go backwards behind. Istad on the inside of Bellotti. Clear for now. Can get him back at the bottom of Graham Hill if he's still side by side by then, and you're brave enough to face it. Owen Paul at the 11 car in the race. Alex Fraser at the 10. It's a sort of the 2 punching above their weight to be looked out for. Our top 4 sending it in very fast. We see a little bit too wide between Dan Blake and NATO Brown. Dan Blake has the advantage in that yellow and black 8 car. This is the best performance so far for Daniel Tufts. He's had a lot of races in the midfield, unpacked at the last second by unusual incidents. And it's not too late for one of those to happen. I'm just saying. We're not out of that window. Still battling Rory Hunt and Owen Paul. Owen's been making some good headway. Graham Rory Hunt's going to run him, and we're going to go 3 wide behind. Nick Aronson gets a very, very big run. Good enough to clear the 2 of them before Paddock Hill even starts. That was almost a little bit scary. This whole pack up front has slowed up quite a bit, and it's given some room now for Istad and Bellotti to join in. It's really a pack of 6 at this stage. You're not really going to be drafting here. You are going to be doing some slipstreaming down that long straight. I tell you, it's not quite the same. You might see how big the run gets here from Daniel Tufts. He's all over the rear of George Streetley. Not gonna happen. It's not quite as I expected. Most of this pack compressed very, very well together. Although Juan Manine has dropped back a bit. That's a spinner. That's Rory Hunt. With another one from Nato Brown, just sort of in the same place. Not sure what relation those had to each other. I'd like to take a look. I think Rory Hunt did this to himself. Yes, he did. Did Nato then just play the same game? Yes, he did. Dips on the grass. 2-4-2. Big battles for the lead going on while I'm doing this, and I'm going to make sure we don't miss them. Finally, we have the right stinger. Don't sue me, Jeff. This is Christopher Cash. So that's just right off the back of... Saw the smoke kicking off in the background. This was happening at the same time. Christopher Cash moved to take the lead. Big separation between these top two and the rest suddenly opening up. Cash carrying a lot of momentum here into paddock kill. Where's he going to get it done? There's a bit of a trading back and forth. That's not it. It's a really nice over-under. And that'll be him by Druids. Oh, a little bit of tapping. Oh, a little bit of contact. Actually, Alex Fraser sort of pushed back a little bit. He's not going to be too happy about that one. I just want to see what sort of room he had. Not much. Oh, Cash isn't really clear on the left-hand side there. But the result ends up being the same. Back to live pictures. We just had a lot to catch. Still a 6-car train. Quite a few drivers on the mic complaining about the setup, by the way. You can't hear him, but I definitely can. I can't tell you exactly who it is, but I've heard expletives about the setup in my ear. And a few hair-raising passes and moments. Really, this top 6 train is going chugga-chugga-choo-choo all the way to the station right now. And Alex Fraser isn't out of it if he wants to try and make that move back at Cash. I have the feeling like if he gets back up to him, he will be a lot less forgiving. Istad has a good draft. He tries to get himself alongside. This is going to be another one lost by the 10. Istad's a bit ahead. Now he is properly clear making that move. There's still momentum on Alex's car, I think. Not quite. It almost looked like he got rear-ended by the 6-car of Bellotti. Now separating into 2 trains of 3. Another trip down paddock hill. It's as scary as ever. Daniel Tuff sets the fastest lap. It's a 1:32.39. Almost looked like he was going to make the move into Druids. Not quite ready to develop in time. Probably the only reason, probably one of the only reasons these cars don't run in this layout in real life are the noise restrictions. Quite limited slots you can get in at the Grand Prix circuit. It's horrible to walk around the back end of it. You basically have to walk through like Kent woodlands to get around the back part of the track. And it's so strange, you'd think you're inside a British woodland. And actually there's a racetrack going on around you. Not a fun walk. But maybe I was carrying too much of my back on the day. I wasn't there for the FF Festival, I was there for British GT when I had to scale the whole circuit. Not really space to build any grandstands around there, unfortunately. Still 6 running. All their ducks in a row and a line. Nick Aronson is quite significantly further back in the P4. And then Dan Blake, Erwin Paul and David Whitehouse make up this next sort of train. Graham Gory Hunt, Keeble, Brown and Manine. There has to be a better way of pronouncing that. I get these things wrong all the time, even on broadcasts more important than my own. Cut very far from back after it looks like a bit of another self-inflicted incident that I think if I try and catch the replay, I might miss something else happening up on top. We wouldn't want to catch the lead pass for the lead on tape delay again. 10 minutes to go, already halfway. And I think everybody here is being very, very patient. That patience is going to start wearing thin very quickly. You all know how these races go after a short while. Here's Bellotti's car. He sits at the back of the train. Really have to get the car slipping through this section without going wide. It's so easy to accidentally go wide. Have to cut the inside of that turn. Use that sort of like lattice. It's considered valid on track. This is the one that catches me. It's sharper than it looks. There used to be a chicane there. And this last corner, quite a bit more forgiving than it is on the Indy layout. A lot faster. Just carry a lot more through it. I have a feeling like something's going to kick off sooner rather than later. Paddock Hill, not an advisable place to make a dramatic send. I thought Daniel Tufts was maybe going to play that game. Still not ready. Bellotti's going to need to turn up the speed and turn up the heat, though, because he's very quickly losing touch of the rest of the drivers. Keeping an eye just back here. I mean, they're having a chase just as exciting as the past two. Erwin Paul, Dan Blake, and Nick Aronson up in front. At the back, Nato Brown isn't too far off Christopher Keeble. As they get ready to approach the fast portions. In fact, I think Brown's going to go side by side. And he could have this one clear in time, but he does have the bad line on the outside. Not quite good enough for now, but he's not going to give up. At 13, just slots back into place, though. Nato Brown makes up a place. It's 5 seconds to the next car. That's going to be a challenge. David Whitehouse indeed had a moment. And gods, do not curse me down with a pass for the lead while I'm replaying it. I have a feeling like a bit of grass or a little bit of a oversteer is going to present itself. Well saved in time to stop the car from going around to the back. 1-2 in line for these pure motorsports teammates. Cash and Streetley probably not thinking too much about their championship right now. Oh, they are going to start going for it. Oh, I'm seeing more. I'm seeing more and more impatience. Bit by bit, trickle by trickle. These drivers are getting ready to act out of line a little bit more. And if they have one contact too unlucky, it will all be in the hands of Tufts. Bit of a different line taken by the two out in front. Not that much of a slower one. I am impressed by the racing I've seen here today, and it's certainly not over. In fact, this is where it gets interesting. Still no one wanting to make the first move. A little bit of a gravel dip there is okay, by the way. Not even an off track. Dan Blake getting past Nick Aronson. Just going to catch a quick replay here. They were able to pull it off. The over-under again. Yes, a bit of space being left. The ideal line at Paddock Hill takes you onto that green painted road, but someone that's just carried momentum can take you back. Not going to miss a second of what's going on further up the road, though. We're on lap 10. Crossing the line will make it free to go. And I'm just wondering, the same as anyone else, who's going to be the first one? I see Streetley. Too wide with maybe space for a free. Daniel Tufts doesn't take it for now. Still doesn't take it for now. The gap closes up. Streetley with a pass for the lead. Tufts just trying to make the over-under happen there. He scrubs a bit of speed in the process. Two cars going too wide into Druids. 2 rows down. Cash has the lead back behind. Istad can't successfully take it off Tufts. And Fraser's in for it. Everybody's in for it. Tufts sends it. He sends it hard. Out of all of that tussling, Streetley has come out P1 and Tufts has taken the P2 from Cash, who is very clearly moving that car. There's a run, in fact, from Tufts. He almost takes it, almost gets side by Streetley, backs out, gets back in line. That kills his momentum. Almost causes a wreck in the process. Further back, I just have to show you that Aronson, Paul and Blake are still going at it. Trading places back and forth. Not going to take a second away from this, though. This is going to end in fireworks one way or another. 2 to go across the line. And you could feel everybody's trying to make those moves down Paddock Hill. Cash isn't done on Tufts. That's one car going very wide. That's Fraser. Just did it to himself, I'm afraid. Streetley's going to be happy seeing this in his mirror for now. It's just Cash and Tufts trading back and forth. I think Fraser's totally lost the train there. The gloves are coming off. And that isn't even our last time down Paddock Hill. That could be the most scary moment at this entire race. And whoever's in first is going to be happiest going into it. Christopher Cash wants that first place. Tufts is running so close to these other cars, you're fearing a catastrophic wreck any moment now. He has the momentum to clear up for second and slide right in front of Streetley. That slows him down a lot. Istad almost got a nose in, and Cash got a big, big run. The white flag is about to wave. Is it? Let me check that with my fact-checking team before we get there. The white flag is waving. We have one more to go. I think Cash is safe. Streetley backs out of a shot down Paddock Hill. Is his P3 in risk now to at Istad? Tufts sends it, gives it up just for a second. Just a little bit of trepidation. The positions stay as they do as we leave Indy. difficult left-hander, goes on longer than you'd expect. If you've got anything left in your system, any slipstream left, any ambition, you'll take it now. An early move by Cash to cover the inside might just be enough to slow Tufts. He's going to try to dart to the inside and the outside. Doesn't make either happen, but there's still no contact. How has a nose not touched suspension yet? Here comes Istad. He's dived up the inside. A massive cut. And it's not good enough to take third. Can you believe we've done this without the big crashes? Istad has one more shot. He's not going to take it. And I'm not going to call his name until it's confirmed. Because I don't know who's going to drop this by the line. And I think it could have been Tufts. Imperceptibly, it could have been Tufts. So imperceptibly, iRace is telling me it's true. And I think we're going to need to give that one a check. Someone stop the count. I almost don't believe what I just saw. So we're going to slow-mo it in Chopper. Watch the start-finish line. This is unbelievably, it's Tufts. It's Tufts in the way that only virtual transponder technology can get us. It is Tufts. Can it be denied? It cannot. Don't even need to look at the rest of the grid after that. What a finish. I'm afraid I don't know who said they don't like the setup. So I'm, you know, it's fully anonymous. They're going to stay quiet to the rest of the race. I'm never going to leak that. I think they might be running Beatrice's. What a fun way to distract from, what a fun way for, as in, that's what I heard in my head. You know, let's just forget we even heard a thing about that. Just get onto the end result. Hey, even she admits it's not for everyone. Actually, I'll let them discuss that one among themselves. None of you have to hear. 14 drivers after 13 laps, and it's 200ths of a second. Gives the win to Daniel Tufts. Christopher Cash so almost had that, but he didn't. It's a P2 for him with George Streetley in third and Bellotti in fourth behind. Istad lost out after such a great charge. That last send into the final corner lost so much momentum. Alex Fraser finishes 10th with Dan Blake in... And Fraser finishes 6th. It's a car number of 10. Dan Blake in 7th, Nick Aronson in 8th, Owen Paul in 9th, and our actual 10th place finisher, David Whitehouse. Graham Rory Hunt finishes 11th with Nato Brown in 12th. Juha Manane in 13th for Christopher Keeble finishing last. And we do indeed have drivers to speak to. We have Christopher Cash, who will be demanding angrily that he was the winner. Unfortunately, I know these things. Hello, Christopher. You want to tell us and the world that you were the winner, but unfortunately, iRacing is more accurate. But that was still spectacular and very, very, very close.
Can you believe how close that was? That was ridiculous. That was so enjoyable, though.
I had to pause it on the frame in order to verify that. What a race, very, very much controlled from that top view. How close did that come to a horrendous disaster?
Yes, I think it was turn 1. We all nearly went into the back of George on one lap and just about managed to avoid him. But it was brilliant. Just how many were 5 of us were there? I didn't really have a chance to see. Going at it. It was brilliant.
I mean, I heard a lot of hype for this layout, and then I kind of thought, it won't deliver when I drove it. And you were absolutely were part of the pack that made an unbelievable finish there. How does the GP layout make you feel?
I so wanted that win. I was really going for it. I cannot believe Daniel, the so-and-so, hit me at that post there. Do you know how close it was? I've not had a chance to see yet.
200ths.
Oh, geez.
And we actually do freeze frame on the static on the stream of like how visually that gap was by the line. It's one of those things that you needed to stop the camera to show.
I'm so happy for him. Really.
Gonna be a very, very close, tough championship. Do you have any shout outs or thank yous before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, well done to George, my teammate. He really is forcing me to be on it now because he's so quick, and it's someone to practice with. So I think that's raising my level a little bit. So shout out to George, everyone at Pure Motorsport who's watching, and all the drivers who contributed to that race. That's what we go racing for, isn't it?
Well, a great joy, and also a great joy to hear from you at the end of it all. Thank you for the race, and hope to see you on the track for the rest of the season for some more of that.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Hopefully they're that close. Cheers.
Well, an unbelievable race and an unbelievable finish. Maybe it really does always deliver. Next week, we're at the Red Bull Ring with a chance of rain. Not even a guarantee. And we're going to have to find out what that looks like. Same time, same place on this channel. It's going to be a bit of a thrill ride, as is the rest of the season as things stand. As well, we'll also give you some live updated championship points once we've gotten that many races into the season. For me, Howie Burrows, who might not be done invading the Skip Barber series every once in a while. Just you've got to watch your back sometimes. Wishing you a great week.